escorted into the ring by Sonya Deville, from Victoria, DC, Chelsea Green.
Ah, yes, I love it when I hear Samantha Irvin announce Chelsea Green's name. It has to be one of my top 10 ring entrance announcements in this business today. Chelsea Green has been lacing up her boots for just under 10 years now. And being a wrestler, especially in the WWE, is a dream not everybody can achieve. AJ Styles spent 14 years on the indie scene before he could join the WWE. Samoa Joe wrestled for 16 years, conquering other promotions champions before he got called up to the WWE in 2015. I think we all know that professional wrestling is a rough business. You need to sell yourself and dominate in order to even get considered working with the best of the best. And one wrestler who cruised her way through the indie scene and made a name for herself is the current one half of the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Chelsea Green. You might also know her as the fiancée of Matt Cardona, or to the casuals out there, woo, 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 Long Island Iced Z, Zack Ryder. So let's take a look at the illustrious career of one of the hottest superstars in the women's division, and her incredible journey before joining the biggest promotion of them all. And spoiler, Chelsea Green is a bona fide indie darling. Chelsea Ann Green was born on April 4th, 1991 in Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. From a young age, she exhibited a keen interest in sports and entertainment, ultimately finding her calling in the world of professional wrestling. It's really hard to succeed in a very male-dominated sport, often getting criticized and doubted every single time she stepped into the squared circle. But Chelsea found her sanctuary, a haven that would make her feel like she belonged to the world of wrestling. She honed her in-ring skills in the Storm Wrestling Academy, where she would be trained by the legendary trainer himself, Lance Storm, who had multiple championships under his belt from his tenure in ECW, Impact Wrestling, and WWE. Lance Storm has trained other notable WWE stars like Tyler Breeze, Peyton Royce, the Masterpiece Chris Masters, and the legendary unsung heel himself, Dolph Ziggler. He starts from day one with the basics, and he builds from the ground up, Green said in an interview with Spencer Love in 2021. I think that's why that everyone that comes out of Lance's gym has a great mind for wrestling and is able to build a perfect basic match. Lance teaches you how to entertain and how to build a match that people are going to want to continue to see. Training under one of the most decorated wrestlers, not just in the WWE, but in the independent circuit, helped Chelsea gain confidence inside the ring, mastering all of the basics and how to tell a story inside that squared circle. And it's not an exaggeration to say that Chelsea has literally wrestled the entire world. On May 31st, 2014, Chelsea debuted under the ring name Jada for the Elite Canadian Championship Wrestling competition, competing in a 6-man tag team match. Chelsea dominated the Canadian wrestling scene, competing in various promotions like High Impact Wrestling and Vancouver Island Pro Wrestling. In 2015, however, her career took a leap as she captured her first wrestling milestone. Chelsea stormed the British All-Star Wrestling One-Day Tournament for the Women's Championship, her first ever wrestling gold. On January 1st, 2016, Chelsea debuted on TNA's Explosion against Jade, or for WWE fans, Mia Yim. TNA was widely impressed with Chelsea and continued to give her matches to some of the biggest women's wrestlers in the business, including Momo Watanabe, Mayu Iwatani, and the current WWE Women's Champion, Io Sky. Chelsea found a new home in TNA and found a new persona as well, which made her quite infamous. She made her televised debut as a heel under the name of Laurel Van Ness, a portrayal of a disheveled bride, complete with a wedding dress and smeared makeup, which added a layer of intrigue to her persona, captivating audiences and showcasing her versatility as a performer. She was even wrestling with a bridesmaid gown and a wine bottle. Even CM Punk's Straight Edge Society couldn't save Chelsea back then. Well, this persona garnered a lot of buzz on Impact and actually made her their Impact Knockouts champion. After 2 years climbing her way through the rankings, Chelsea got another title around her waist, and she was ready for the next big step. With Chelsea's contract with Impact Wrestling coming to an end, rumors spread that Chelsea might be going to the WWE. But before signing with the big leagues, Chelsea made some stops. This time she would take an unusual route. She returned to the indie scene in the United States, performing for some well-known promotions, matches against Priscilla Kelly, now known as Gigi Dolan, in Major League Wrestling, Shotzi Blackheart in Destiny Wrestling Organization, and Britt Baker in Rise Wrestling were part of this run. Chelsea then made one more pit stop in Lucha Underground. Chelsea spent months wrestling for Lucha Underground under yet another ring name, Reclusa. She has more personas than Mick Foley does, a total performer. Then finally, after 4 years in the indie scene performing under what felt like hundreds of wrestling names, Laurel Van Ness, Jada, Megan Miller, Reclusa, and Chelsea Green are now coming to the biggest wrestling promotion in the world. Surely everything was going to be smooth sailing from now on, right? She has conquered the world and made her way to the WWE, but nope. Finally getting signed into the WWE was just half the battle. In 2018, the WWE's Performance Center called up many rising superstars in a star-studded class that included Humberto Carrillo, Damian Priest, Matt Riddle, and her old friend Mia Yim. But this was not actually Chelsea's first time with the company. For the hardcore WWE fans out there, she might be a little bit familiar to you. Remember when LA Knight made an appearance as a guard for CM Punk? Well, Chelsea pulled off a similar stint just like that, but just a little bit different. During a feud in 2014 between Brie Bella and Stephanie McMahon, Chelsea Green actually appeared, portraying Daniel Bryan's physical therapist named Megan Miller. The two even admitted to having an affair, and Bella slapped the hell out of her. That's one heck of a debut. And not just that, Chelsea also participated in the 2015 season of Tough Enough, finishing in 4th place on the show. But right after that, Chelsea traveled the world and won championships around her waist. She's accustomed to winning and dominating, but in WWE, she struggled. She made her in-ring debut in October 2018 in a loss against Deonna Purrazzo. For 2 solid months, Chelsea would not taste a single victory inside the ring as she suffered losses to the likes of Xia Li, Aaliyah, and a tag team match against Io Sky and Kairi Sane. Her first singles victory came against Jessie Alabam. Yes, that nerdy-looking wrestler. She surely won against that unworthy opponent. But as soon as Chelsea gained momentum in her WWE run, she suffered a wrist injury that bugged her for the rest of her run. When she recovered after 3 months of being sidelined, it was a green light. She was competing with the likes of Charlotte Flair on Raw. The WWE recognized her potential and actually started booking her for some relevant matches. NXT Creatives then decided to pair her with a promoter largely known for his TNA run, Mr. Stone. WWE saw the potential and had her compete in a ladder match to determine the NXT's #1 contender for the Women's Championship, which Io Sky won. Green was definitely next in line. She even competed in the 2020 Royal Rumble, eliminating Dakota Kai. After almost 2 years in the company, putting in the work, she was called up on the main roster. On her first match in SmackDown, a fatal 4-way match for a slot at the Survivor Series against Natalya, Tamina, and Liv Morgan. Triple H wanted Chelsea to win. They booked her to win, but Chelsea once again broke her wrist, resulting in Triple H giving Liv Morgan the win. After being troubled with injuries for months, WWE pulled the trigger and included Chelsea Green in a massive layoff in April of 2021. And that's it. Just like that, all of the dreams that Chelsea worked on night in and night out were thrown out the window. But it's not Chelsea's character to give up. She was young, and the world saw the glimpse of potential in Chelsea's eyes. Instead of giving up, Chelsea scrapped for all of the opportunities she could get. She went to Ring of Honor to take part in the Best in the World pay-per-view, but as soon as she was scheduled to wrestle for the ROH Women's Championship, she was medically uncleared, once again due to a wrist fracture. It was a tough spot for Chelsea, giving away her best opportunity to redeem herself. But just as many others do, Chelsea sought shelter in a place she called home, Impact Wrestling. She wrestled for Impact Wrestling alongside her fiancé, Matt Cardona, as they created waves across the promotion. For 2 years, Chelsea performed under her own name and even won the Impact Knockouts World Tag Team Championship. In January of 2023, however, Chelsea's entire career once again took a turn, for the better this time. 5 years after her first stint, Chelsea Green was once again back in the WWE after a surprise entrant at the 2023 Royal Rumble. It felt like great things were coming for Chelsea Green, and was eliminated just 5 seconds in by Mommy, Rhea Ripley, the fastest in women's Royal Rumble history. At least she made history, right? But let's not compare her to Santino and his own Royal Rumble record. She's way more talented than that unibrow-wearing Cobra tamer. Since then, Chelsea has been booked onto the main roster for Monday Night Raw as a solid tag team performer. The WWE Universe recognized the potential in Chelsea Green and was widely impressed with how she moves inside that squared circle. On July 17th, 2023, Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville teamed up to challenge Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez for the Women's Tag Team Championship, where they would eventually win, giving Chelsea her first ever gold in the WWE, a tag team champion in Impact, and now in the WWE. After Sonya Deville unfortunately tore her ACL, Chelsea found a new partner in Piper Neville, and, well, it went really well. It was always interesting whenever these two walked down to the ring, not to mention that well-designed wrestling gear from Chelsea Green. It'll be interesting to see what the WWE is planning for Chelsea Green. I'm pretty sure that solo run will go crazy. Imagine her having a run with one of the WWE titles. It's all just a matter of time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.